Good morning. In our previous session, we have discussed about the bitwise operators. Now in this session, let us discuss about selection and making decisions. After going through this chapter, we should be able to understand single way selection, that is if statement, two-way selection, if else statement and nested if statement, multi-way selection, else if ladder, switch statement, conditional operator statement, and go to statement. In this, we will study about logical data and operators, two-way selection, multi-way selection, and more standard functions. Before that, we must know that about program control structure. Usually, a program is a non-linear sequence of instructions. According to the logic, it may diverge, repeat code, or take decisions. The structure of the program, which decides the order of the program statement, is called control structure. The control structure evaluates the statements according to the result. The future statements are executed. Thus, the control structure affects the flow of simulation code. There are three types of control structure. Firstly, sequence. In this control structure, the statements are executed linearly from starting to the end. That is, the instructions will be executed one after the other in a particular sequential order. Second, selection. The control structure makes a decision according to some particular condition. So here we will be evaluating one conditional test condition. If the condition based on the test condition, we will be executing the block of statements. Thirdly, iteration. This control structure executes certain instructions repeatedly until the desired condition is satisfied. So this is our part 3, and that is loops. We will discuss in our next session. Logical data and operators. A piece of data is called logical if it gives information as true or false. For this, we have a Boolean data type called _bool declared as unsigned integer in stdbool.h file. The support logic data we have to use bool type. Logical operators are used to combine two or more relations. The logical operations are called bool operations because the test values are reduced to either true or false, with 0 being false and 1 being true. So here on the screen we can see 4 different tables. The first table, logical AND, is represented with double ampersand symbol. Logical OR with double vertical lines, and logical NOT with a factorial symbol. So here in the logical AND table, you can see that logical AND is true only if both the operand 1 and operand 2 are true. And whereas coming to logical OR, the logical OR is false only if both the operands are false. If both are true or any one of the operands is true, then logical OR will be true. Whereas in logical NOT, if the original bit is false, then the result will be true. And if the result is true, that means that the original bit is false. Similarly, if the original bit is true, then the result will be false. So these are the 3 different logical operators what we are going to use. Logical data and operations. Evaluating logical expressions. So here in evaluating the logical expressions, there are 2 methods to evaluate the binary logical relations. First, the expression must be completely evaluated before the result is determined. Second, set the result as soon as it is known. So first, completely we need to evaluate the logical expression, then only we need to set the result to that particular set. In the first, if the first operand of the logical AND expression is false, then there is no need to evaluate the second half of the expression, because we know that the AND operation is true when both are true. If the first one itself is false, then there is no need for calculating the result. Ultimately, it will be false. Ultimately, it will be false. And in the case of logical OR, if the first operand is true, then there is no need to evaluate the second half of the expression. Because if the first one is true, ultimately the result will be true. Because in logical OR, it will be false only if both first operand and second operand are false. So it will be false only if the first operand and the second operand are false. Here the first one is anyway true, so the result will be ultimately true. Now let us see a small program for implementing these logical operators. So here I have included the stdbool.h header file. I am considered A as true, that is the A value will be 1, and B as false, that is B will be equal to 0. In the first printf command, I have applied the logical AND operator between A and B. Since B is false, ultimately the result will be 0. Whereas in the second printf command, logical OR operation I applied. Here A is true, so 1 is true, so ultimately the complete result will be true. Therefore, we got the output as 1. Whereas in the third printf statement, not A is false. So not A is true and not A is false. So false and false is false. Therefore, the third output is 0, that is false. Whereas in the fourth printf command, A is true and not B is also true. So the AND operator, logical AND operator between these two operands will be true. So here I got the resultant output as 1. Next, in the fifth printf statement, not A is false or B is false, both are false, so the result will be false. Whereas in the last printf command, A is true and not B is true, and the OR operation between both is true. Here you can see that A is true, so no need to calculate what is the value of not B. Directly we can say that the result is true, that is 1. Comparative operators. In addition to the logical operators, C provides 6 comparative operators. They are all binary operators. They take 2 operands and compare to produce Boolean value as true or false. They are divided into 2 groups. One is the relational operators and the second one is equality operators. So let us see the relational operators and the equality operators in the form of a table. So this symbol is less than or equal to, is greater than or equal to, is equal to, is not equal to. So these are the different symbols, 6 different symbols what we are going to represent for representing the comparative operators. Equality operators. So x greater than y, x greater than y, x less than y, x is equal to y, x greater than or equal to y, x less than or equal to y, x not equal to y. All these 6 comparative operators, we can have the complements instead of 1. If we are applying a not in front of it, we can represent it in the other way. For example, not less than can be equal to greater than or equal to. That means less than is the complement of greater than or equal to. Not greater than is equal to less than or equal to. That implies not greater is the complement of less than or equal to. Equal to is the complement of not equal. So this one I will explain in here. If we want to simplify the expression containing not less than operator, we use greater than or equal to operator. That's why I said no. So here not x greater than, not x less than y is similar to x greater than or equal to y. So instead of writing this particular statement, we can represent that like this. So similarly, not x greater than y is equal to x less than or equal to y. Not of x not equal to y, the meaning is x is equal to y. Not of x less than or equal to y is x greater than y. Not of x greater than or equal to y is nothing but x less than y. Not of x is equal to y, the meaning is x not equal to y. Conditional statements. Decision making is about deciding the order of execution of the statements based on certain conditions, or repeat a group of statements until a certain specified condition is met. C language handles decision making by supporting the following statements: if statement, switch statement, conditional operator statement, and go to statement. If statement. The if statement is a powerful decision making statement and is used to control the flow of execution of the statements. The if statement may be complexity of conditions to be tested, and they are broadly classified into four categories: simple if statement, if else statement, nested if else statement, else if ladder statement. Simple if statement. The if statement is used to control the flow of execution of the statements. The syntax of the if statement is as follows. The test expression can be a relational expression or a logical expression or any other expressions which evaluate a non-zero, that is a true value, then the statement block will get executed. If it evaluates 0, that is false, then without executing this particular statement block, it will execute statement X. So the statement block may be a single statement or a group of statements. If the test expression is true, then the statement block will be executed. Otherwise, the statement block will be skipped and the execution will jump to the statement X. If the condition is true, both the statement block and statement X in sequence are executed. This is the logic, this is the flow chart by we can see how we are going to represent this syntax of the simple if statement. Now, let us see a small program of simple if statement. If category is equal to sports, marks is equal to marks plus bonus marks, printf percentage d marks. So if the student belongs to the sports category, then additional bonus marks are added to his marks before they are printed. Otherwise, the bonus marks are printed as it is without adding the bonus marks. So let us see the small program here. We have taken the header file stdio.h, void main. There is one variable by name index. So clear screen. So if I use this particular function, I need to include an header file hash include conio.h. So there is a mistake here. We need to add another header file hash include conio.h. Printf, enter the value of x, scanf percentage d ampersand x. So this particular scanf statement, it will accept the value what you are giving from your keyboard. If that value is considered to be 1, then it will print x value is 1, and then it will be printing the value 1. Else, if it is not equal to 1, if you are going to print any value other than 1, instead of it will not print this particular statement, that is x value is 1. Directly what it will do is it will print the value what you have entered. If else statement. The if else statement is an extension of a simple if. It is a composite statement used to make decisions between two alternatives. The general form is represented like this. So here I have shown the syntax. So the if test expression evaluates to true. It will execute the true block 1, false block 2 will be skipped, and then it will execute the statement X. So if the test expression is true, it will execute true block 1 and followed by statement X. If the test expression is false, then it will skip the text block 1 and it will come to the else block. It will come to the else block, and it will execute the false block 2 and then followed by the statement X. So points to note. So whenever we are using the if else statement, these are the points that need to be noted. The expression must be enclosed in the parenthesis. No semicolon is required for if. So here, the most of the time what we make the mistake is here we will put semicolon. We should not keep the semicolon. So no semicolon is required for if else statement. Both true and false blocks may contain null statements or another if else statement. Both blocks may contain either one statement or group of statements. If group, then they should be represented with a pair of braces called compound statements. So here if we are having group of statements, then we need to represent within the braces. So let us see an example. Here, if the code is equal to 1, the statement boy is equal to boy plus 1 is executed and the control is transferred to statement X after skipping the else part. So what it will do, if the code is equal to 1, it will execute boy is equal to boy plus 1, and then it will not execute girl is equal to girl plus 1. It will directly go to statement X. If the code is not equal to 1, then boy is equal to boy plus 1 will be skipped and it will go to the else part. It will execute girl is equal to girl plus 1. Then it will follow by statement X. So this is an example program for printing whether a given number is an even number or odd number. So here I have taken two header files, stdio.h and conio.h. So here I have taken one value num. Now I need to find out whether the number is an even number or an odd number. So printf, enter the value. You have scanned the value from the keyboard, ampersand num. Now num percentage 2. So here I have applied the modulo operator. So it will find out the remainder. If the remainder is equal to 0, then it will print the number is even. If the remainder is not equal to 0, then it will come to the else part and print the number is odd. So this is how we can execute the program. Two-way selection. If else statement. One minute. So here, let us see the flow chart of the two-way statement. So here, if the test expression is true, then what it is doing, it is going into the true block, and after that it is going to the statement X. So if the test expression is false, then it will not go to the true block. It will come to the false block and then go to the statement X. Okay. So this is the flow chart of the if else statement. The points to be noted: the expression in a the expression is a C expression. After it evaluates, its value is either true or false. So once after calculating the test expression, it will be either true or false. If the test expression is true, then the true block statements are executed. Otherwise, the false block statements are executed. In both the cases, either true block or false block will be executed, but not both. So only one, either true block or false block will get executed, but not both the blocks will get executed in this particular if else statement. Two-way selection. The next example is nested if else statement. When a series of decisions are involved, we may have to use more than one if else statement in nested form. And if else is included in an other if else is known as a nested if else statement. So if we are going to include an if else in another if else, then we say that it is a nested if else statement. Let us see the syntax. Here the if else is enclosed with an other if else. The if else which encloses another is called outer if. So this particular if is called outer if. If the if else which is enclosed within another is called as inner if else. So this particular if else is called inner if else. If the test expression is true, then the inner if is evaluated. So if this particular test expression is true, then it will go to the inner if statement is evaluated. If the inner if is true, then the statement block 1 will get executed. If the inner if is false, then it will execute the statement block 2. If the test expression is false, then it will go to statement block 3. So out of statement block 1, statement block 2, statement block 3, only one block will get executed, followed by statement X. After executing any of these 3 blocks, then it will execute statement X. That I have represented in the form of a flow chart. You can go through it. So here, let us see the example. If sex is equal to female, so if the sex is female, if she is a female, then it will go to the inner if else block and it will check whether the balance with that particular lady is female is more than 5,000. If it is more than 5,000, then what it will do? It will calculate the bonus as 0.5 into the balance that is available with her. If the balance of that particular female is less than 5,000, then it will calculate the bonus as 0.2 into balance. Suppose if the sex is not female, she is a male, then it will not enter into this particular inner if else block. Directly it will come to the else block and it will calculate the bonus as 0.6 into balance, irrespective of her his balance. Then it will print balance is equal to balance. It will calculate compute balance is equal to balance is equal to balance plus bonus. Then it will print up the balance. And I have given here the simple program for nested if else statement. So there is one problem with this nested if else, that is a dangling else problem. That is if in nested if else we have a problem known as a dangling else problem. The problem is created when there is no matching else for every if. If we are not having a matching else for every if. For example, if you can see here, there is a two if statements, but we have only one else statement in this particular logic. In such kind of cases, the else which is present will be applied to the recent if. So this particular else is for this if it will not consider. Suppose if in our logic we want this else to be for this particular if, then what we need to do is we need to write it in brackets. So but however this it may lead to a problem, hence the solution is to simplify the statement by putting brackets. So if we keep the brackets, we can overcome this particular problem. Multi-way selection, if else ladder. There is another way of putting ifs together when multiple decisions are involved. A multi-plot decision is a claim of ifs in which the statements associated with each else is an if. So let us see the syntax. If the condition 1 is found to be true, then the statement block 1 is executed. Then the statement X is executed. So it will skip the remaining thing. If it is found to be false, then it will come to this else block. It will check the condition 2, and if the condition true is true, it will execute statement block 2 and then followed by statement X. If the condition 2 is false, then it will come to the else block. It will check the condition 3, and if the condition 3 is true, it will execute statement block 3. If the condition 3 is also false, then it will execute statement block 4. So from this we can understand that when all the n condition becomes false, then the final else condition will be executed. So if the condition 1 is false, condition 2 is false, condition 3 is false, then it will execute the last else block, that is statement block 4 in this particular syntax, followed by syntax X. So here let us see the flow chart. This construction is also known as else if ladder. The conditions are evaluated from top of the ladder to the downwards. So like this, first it will check, second, third, towards downwards. As soon as a true condition is found, the statement associated with it is executed. For example, if this particular condition is true, it will execute statement 1. If this condition is false, it will come here. If this is also false, it will come to condition 3. If the condition is 3 is true, then it will execute statement 3. So associated statement will be executed if the condition is true. Else what it will do? If all the conditions are considered to be false, then it will execute the default statement. So this is the syntax and the flow chart of else if ladder. So here I have given an example program, and I have written a small program. See, if the code is equal to 1, then it will print color red, then it will come out of the program. If the code is not equal to 1, and if the code is considered to be 2, then it will print the color to be green. If the code is also not equal to 2, then it will check the third condition, that is code is whether the code is equal to 3. If the code is 3, it will print white. If the code is not 1, 2, 3, for any other code values, it will print the default color value, that is yellow. So here, if it is 1, it will print red. If it is 2, it will print green. If it is 3, it will print white. If it is other than 1, 2 and 3, the color what it will be printing is an yellow color. Okay, so it will print the default. So here, if we see in the else if ladder, what we are doing, we are using the if condition for testing the same code value multiple number of times. So to overcome this problem, we will go for another multi-way selection, that is switch statement. So instead of else if ladder in C has a built-in multi-way decision statement known as switch. Whenever we want to check more possible conditions for a single variable, a number of statements are necessary if we are using an if statement. But here, there is no that particular requirement. Just we will test one expression based on the condition. We can execute the block of statements. So here what we will be doing, first we will in this particular switch statement, we will evaluate the expression, and it will return some value that whatever the value it is returning need to be a constant value. The constant value can be a numeric value or an character. It cannot be a floating point value or a double value. It need to be an numeric value or an character. So once after evaluating this value, either you will get a numeric value or an character. If the result of the expression is checked against the constant values like value 1, value 2, so on. So if it satisfies any of these value 1 and value 2, then the program will stop at that particular block where it satisfies that particular value, and it will execute the corresponding associated block. If, for example, if the expression is evaluated to be 2, then what it will do? It will see that the 2 case is here, so it will execute the block 2. Then after that it will break. That means it will execute to statement X. For example, if the expression value what we are evaluating is not value 1 or value 2 or any value n, then what it will do? It will execute the default block. Then it will come out of this particular switch loop, and then it will execute the statement X. So this is the switch statement syntax, and the flow chart is being represented here. This particular switch statement already we have discussed in our previous sessions. So now let us see a program for executing this switch statement. So I have written this particular small program for calculating whether for doing addition, multiplication, subtraction, division, and for finding out the remainder. So I have taken 3 variables of type integer, a, b, and choice, and 1 variable of type float. Then I have cleared the screen, enter the values of a and b. So I have scanned the values from the keyboard, the a value and b value. Now enter my choice. So after entering your choice, if the choice is considered to be any integer value, if it is 1, you are going to do addition. If it is 2, you will do subtraction. If it is 3, you will do division. If it is 4, you will do multiplication. If it is 5, you will find the remainder. And once if the condition gets satisfied, you will do addition and print the result. Then you will come out of the loop. If it is not the option what you are entering is not 1, nor 2, nor 3, nor 4, nor 5, then it will print the command saying that what the option you have entered is an invalid option. It will come out of that particular switch statement. So this is how we are going to execute the switch statement. Thank you. Thank you for attending my session. Thank you very much.